All right, welcome back everyone for another week of Spiritism, where we can learn a little bit more about ourselves and the world around us. Nice intro. Today we'll be continuing with our Earthly Joys and Sorrows section of the Spirit's Book. It is Spirit's Book Part 4, Hopes and Consolations, Chapter 1. Today's topic is Antipathetic Unions. Prior topics we've discussed are happiness and unhappiness, loss of those we love, disappointments and gratitude, blighted affections, and today we'll be talking about antipathetic unions. Antipathetic? Anyone know what antipathetic unions are? Does anyone understand what sympathetic unions are? A sympathetic union is someone that can
relate.
You sympathize with each other. Antipathetic will be the opposite. You kind of don't get along or can't get together.
Clash, like people who clash.
Yes. So that's antipathetic unions. We're going to talk about that.
Is this a Spirit's book?
This is from the Spirit's Book, yes.
This is like
There are like different sections, and this is like a section for the Spirit's Book. It's okay. You like that? Antipathetic unions. Spirits are people without a material body. We all agree with that, yes? Okay. The reason I put that up there is because just this week I heard some people talking about, oh my God, there are evil spirits and evil things and evil. Wait a minute. A spirit is nothing more than a person. Now, if there's an evil person, well, we have evil people on this earth. Yes. There are also evil spirits in the spirit world. They're just like us. We're people. So there's no sense in going into all this, being so scared about the word spirit. Because in many cultures, they consider the word spirit as a taboo, as something scary, something unknown, or something evil. Okay? So it's not. They're just people like us who are in the spirit world. In the spirit world, spirits who sympathize with each other attract each other spontaneously. In other words, it just happens through thought. My thoughts agree with your thoughts, boom, we sympathize with each other automatically. Pretty cool. In the material world, which is what this world that we live in now, the incarnated world, love is often one-sided. The most sincere affection can often be met with indifference or even repulsion. That happens here a lot. A profound affection between two people can change to dislike or even hatred. And we've seen it here in the material world. They like each other, all of a sudden they hate each other. And even from elementary all the way up through adulthood, we experience this. So why does this happen in the material world and not so much in the spirit world? You must not forget that it is the spirit which loves, and not the body, and that when the illusion of corporal attractions is dissipated, the spirit perceives the real quality of the union into which it has entered. Does that make sense? It's a long one, right? But basically it's saying, okay, what is it that helps us feel this love, or that we perceive love? It is our spirit, our soul, not our body. Now, there are studies that show physiologically what happens to your body when you feel that you're in love. Your body goes through some emotional changes, some physical changes. But what's causing that body to change that way? It's your soul, it's your spirit. So remember that. It's the soul that really feels the love and understands what love is. In the Bible it explains it as well. And these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. Right? And I believe many of us have heard that from the Bible. Okay, but now let's look at the word love. We bounce the word love around like a tennis ball a lot. We use the word love in many different aspects of our sentences, of our speech, of our lives. Why is that so? I mean, I've heard love being used all kinds of different ways. So here is a little kind of a spectrum of the use of the word love. How do we use it? Okay? There's like an entire range of this, and it ranges from the light end of the use of the word love, like just joking around, to a deeper end, to where love is really something deep and meaningful. Okay? So, on the lighter side of love, food, I love apples. I love candy. We use love a lot for that, right? I love tapioca pudding. What? You gotta have tapioca pudding.
I love cons.
You were gonna react that way. We have appearances. I love your hair. I love his eyes. They're so beautiful. A guy would say, I love her hair. That's what guys say. True. I love those shoes. Now we're looking at activities. I love to ride a bike. I love to swim. Right? We use that word love for these things, for food, appearances, and activities. Somewhere in the middle, we use the word love for family. I love my brother. I love my sister. I love my mom, my dad. I love my grandma, my grandpa, my tío, my tía. Okay, family. I love my friends. They're great. I love to hang around with them. I love my pets, my little dog. I love dogs. Others would say, I don't like dogs. I love my cat. Ooh, I hate cats. Well, you see how we all have differences there. Well, you see where we're at so far with the word love? There's already these many different types of meanings within the spectrum. And now we have the deeper end of love. I love my spouse. I love my fiancé. I love my boyfriend. He's so wonderful. I love my girlfriend. Right? So that love is a different kind of love. It's a more of a intimate, personal love. But look at this entire array of uses of our word love. We just kind of like, on the lighter side, we just play around all the time, throw it. And we even include God in some of these. You know why? Because you say, oh my God, I love strawberries. Oh my God starts in front of strawberries. So it's great that we're including God now in our language. It's wonderful. So, how then do we come to understand what the meaning of love is? If there's so many different meanings in our vocabulary, how do we come to understand that? Through life experiences in the material world, that's how we're going to come to understand what the true meaning of love is. These experiences, keep in mind, mainly involve pain and suffering. For what reason? To come to a better understanding of what true love is. Not, I love bananas. It's, I really love this person, and what is required of us to show and express that kind of love? Well, that requires experience. We've got to be born into this material world, live lives, as many as we need, to experience love and what it really means. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. Since we use the word love loosely in our imperfect language, there's a strong possibility that we become desperately in love with our boyfriend or girlfriend based on appearances. It's a strong possibility. We're going to get our signals crossed here. Let me remind you, where was appearance on the spectrum here? It was way over to the light side, wasn't it? Where was boyfriend on the spectrum? Way on the deep side. Oh. But I love him. Why? Because he looks great. Really? Yeah. And so you love him. And I'm in love with him. Or I'm in love with his image. Thank you, because I was going somewhere else. Don't want to go there. Okay. So at the very least, you fall in love. It starts that way, right? It starts with what? With how someone else looks, their appearance. I'm pretty sure, psychologically speaking, you see someone that doesn't look all that appealing to you, you're not going to pay attention to that person. If someone looks really nice, you're like, hey, he's attractive, she's attractive. Let me go over and talk to them, if you have enough guts to do that. Upon realizing that we've made a mistake because we fell for their looks rather than who they really were as people, okay, we are faced with damage control. Now we gotta go, oh, I messed up. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I really thought he was somebody else. I really thought she was a different kind of person. and now we spend time together, and you know what? It's not going to work out. So, what I mean by damage control, I think everyone knows what I mean by that, and that is someone's going to get hurt because you're going to have to say, you know what? I'm sorry. You're not the person I thought you were. This is a passing expiation. Okay, this passing expiation will bring us closer to the true meaning of love. I call it a passing expiation because you're gonna find someone else later. So it's passing. You're having to deal with this particular relationship, and then eventually, well, then you're gonna move on to something else, or you're gonna keep that relationship and it's gonna grow. Okay. So the more we experience these things, the more we get a little closer to what the true meaning of love is. Any questions? Comments? Cool. There are two kinds of affection, that of the body and that of the soul. And these are often mistaken for one another. The affection of the soul, when pure and sympathetic, is lasting. That of the body is perishable. It doesn't last. This is why those who fancied that they loved each other with an eternal affection often detest one another when their illusion has vanished. Their illusion has vanished because we perceive someone and then we create this illusion of who they are based on their appearance. This illusion of what their personality is like, what their likes and dislikes are. From the very get-go of a new relationship, we have this illusion, oh my God, so wonderful. So we have to be very careful with that. Where there is a lack of sympathy among people who are destined to live together, there is pain and suffering. We are usually the cause of such a misfortune, though. Okay. Now, we're to blame for this situation, or for any situation that has to do with antipathetic unions, or we don't get along. How could we possibly be the cause of that? What if it's just somebody else and we're innocent?
Could we always have a choice?
We have a choice. And we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But just to give you a little heads up on it, yes, we do cause, if not all, most of these things that occur to us in our relationships. Our laws are at fault, first of all. How could God have intended for those who don't like each other to live together? Did God create us for that purpose? So that we are forced to be with someone that we just can't get along with?
You mean like siblings or parent relationships? Or
It could be that. It could be spouses. It could be marriages. It could be any type of relationship. You know, sometimes within families, siblings cannot live with their parents, right? I mean, to the point where it's dysfunctional, where there's no way that they're going to be able to come to any kind of sense of unity and love in their house, in their family. So sometimes, and it's a rare case, but there was a case where a sibling divorced the parents. I don't know if you all heard of that case or not. There was actually literally a divorce.
You can do that.
Yeah, well, someone did. And I don't know if
Was
any
it not
other.
just like being emancipated?
yes,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is,
it's the
right?
same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So, those relationships, I mean, does God force us, bind us? In a sense, He does. Yes. But really, you have choices too. So He puts you in a situation. If you don't want to follow through with it, you can choose to say, I'm not going to do it anymore. Is it good for you or bad for you? That's up to your individual situation. Okay? If you're in an abusive situation, then it's good for you to part ways, isn't it? Any abusive situation at all, physical, it could also be mental abuse. Saying things, putting down every single day what you can't do. That's a abuse, mental abuse. So in those rare cases, it's best to separate. And God isn't going to punish you for doing that. No. It's because the situation isn't right for you. We are also to blame when we seek to satisfy our pride and ambition over the happiness of a mutual relationship. We suffer the consequences. Our own pride and ambition. You're going to do what I tell you. Why? Well, because I'm the one who makes all the money in this house. I'm the breadwinner. You're following my rules. Pride, ambition. In the future, you will continue to be living with me, and you will continue to do the things that I'm asking you to do. Really?
Control.
Yes. Controlling somebody? Sure. And those are abusive situations that you don't have to be a part of. We have a choice not to. But we create problems. We create our own suffering by acting in this way. Is love a feeling or a choice? Any comments on that?
Is it both?
Both.
Is it both?
I would say both.
Love is a feeling?
Because you can choose to feel love. So
it's a
and
choice.
feeling.
You can choose to feel love.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna love him. I'm not gonna love him.
But you
We're gonna
Yeah,
fight.
sometimes it's just a feeling.
I'm going through the
That's
whole
why
what is the torso?
sometimes it's a
No matter
choice.
no matter what choice you make,
Because
the
sometimes
feeling
it's
is still there.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but when it
So
comes
it's
to
a
like,
feeling.
sometimes it's not people though. You say like love, like in the white part, it's a choice, and in the red part, it's a feeling.
She's going through the spectrum.
You're looking at the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Very good. So it's kind of, you saw the spectrum thing as more of on the feeling side or on the choice side?
No, that
No,
the
feeling.
white part
The white
is the
choice.
choice, and the red
Yes.
part is the feeling.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, those
Well,
are.
you could
You
be
put the
also
spectrum up there.
I did. We're using it. That's good. We need to. So, yeah, that's a tough question. However, let's take into consideration this. Feelings change. I feel angry. Tomorrow, I feel so happy. Yes. I feel hatred. I feel love. Feelings change. Can we build a foundation of love upon feelings is what I'm asking now. You see, that's questionable. Because our feelings are always whatever our mood is. However we're at that time in our minds. I mean, we just got back from some horrible situation. I mean, you're going to say, I don't love anybody because of what happened. Sometimes a tragedy happens, and the word love is just way down there in your list of things of feeling. You don't want to feel love when a tragedy happens or when you're going through something emotionally difficult. So what I'm suggesting here is that feelings change a lot. Okay? I think I learned this through my own children because, a little child, 7 years old, what's the matter? No. I go, let's play again. Let's try the game one more time. I know you lost, but we can do it again because I was always being that way with my kids. I would win all the time. Let's do it again. No. Do you still love me? No. And my kids would tell me a lot they don't love me. No. Because they're upset. But when it's time to buy something at the store, I love you. You know how much I love you? Really? Yes. Well, just yesterday. No, don't worry about yesterday. I love you now. Okay. Love is not a spontaneous feeling. It is a deliberate choice. You make the choice to love someone. Okay? So, I choose to work things out because I want this love to work. I choose to remain committed. I choose to create something worth loving. See? I choose to walk away when a relationship is beyond repair. Like I said, those rare cases where there's abuse. I choose. We have choices and we choose those things. So love, sorry to burst everyone's fantasy about love, but it's a choice, a conscious choice.
But do you think like but you have to, how do I say? You have to like have a feeling first before you make a choice. You get me?
It is part feeling, yes, but is it 100%?
Like you have a feeling about something before you make the choice.
You do have a feeling, yes, and then you make a
Yeah,
choice.
but I mean, still, you
Oh,
still
yeah, no,
make
but I'm
the
just saying that,
choice.
yeah.
But the bottom line
You
is the
still have
choice.
the
The
choice.
choice is
Mhm.
what the choice is what really either makes something happen or not.
Yes.
It's the action
Yes.
of the feeling that you have.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the action of the thing.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So it is said that real love, then, what is real love? Real love is an unconditional commitment to an imperfect person.
Exactly. Very good.
We're not perfect, right? We're not perfect. We know we're not perfect, but yet we say we met the perfect guy. I met the perfect girl. I'm with the perfect husband, with the perfect wife. We say that, we believe that because we try to get that feeling of it involved. But in reality, we are all imperfect people, and we choose to be together with our imperfections. We make that conscious choice. Okay? Love is the most rewarding work of your life. Work. Love is work. Oh, don't do that. But in the movies, they don't teach us that. Right? Love is this great fantasy thing where everything goes in slow motion. And everyone's waiting. It's just this wonderful thing, right? Hopeless romantics and all of these things in the movies are wonderful. But no, it's a choice and it's work. I choose to love you, and I choose to work at it, and I choose to accept you for who you are, with all of your imperfections. Ouch. That's not an easy thing to do. It's not. St. Vincent de Paul said, "Love one another, such as the divine law by which God governs all the worlds of the universe." Such as the divine law. Love is the law of attraction for living and organized beings. Attraction is the law of love for inorganic matter. So the law of love, okay? The law of attraction is actually what love is, okay? But think about it. What are we attracting? Why do we have so many problems in our lives? And we're so busy wondering, I don't know, why does this happen to me? Why does that happen to me? How come I tried so hard and then it didn't work out? Even though I gave everything of myself and it still didn't work out. So then why do we have to suffer through that? Why do we have to be dragged through the mud like that? Is it fair? Is God doing it to have a laugh? Why?
It's part of our progress.
It's
Yeah,
part
I was just fixing to say it's part of the process. I mean, I was married 30 years. It wasn't like we loved each other, but it wasn't always an attraction, and it was a not constant, but it was a challenge. You know, you're on a roller coaster. So I don't think we did that to punish ourselves. I mean, it was a choice to stay together because, you know, you're married. You got to work it out. You know.
But it takes two people to make that commitment, doesn't it? It takes two people to make that commitment. And when one doesn't, or when one chooses to drop that commitment, it's difficult. It's difficult to make anything work when one person decides, you know what, I don't want this anymore. Well, what are you going to do? You can't go change their mind. You can't make them change characters or personalities or whatever it is. You can't go change someone else. So then it's time for you to make a choice.
Part of the process.
Sure.
Maybe we mistreated somebody in our past life, and it's our turn to see what it feels like to be treated bad.
Through the law of reincarnation,
Right.
maybe some call it karma. You know, you're kind of like, you find yourself around people that, in a sense, abusive, in a sense, yes. That's possible.
And you come back as a nice person, and it doesn't matter who you date or who you marry, it's gonna go bad, and you wonder why does it happen to me, or it always happens to me, and
So-
that could be one of the
So it
reasons.
could be something that you may have caused something on others, and now you're
Right.
kind of
And now you're paying.
you're paying for it. Sure, absolutely, good answer.
But then where does
Yeah.
what are we attracting?
Yeah.
Because we're also attracting that, you know.
Well, that's possible too. I mean, look, the law of attraction can be viewed as kind of like the law of mirroring,
Yeah.
to where you're seeing a reflection of yourself
Oh, yeah. So that's what he's saying.
in
I mean,
things that
it
are
sounds-
going on. right?
Yeah, but will that continue on through that life till you go into another?
Well,
No.
it
because
doesn't
there's
have to.
When does it end?
It doesn't
because
have to.
You make
Okay.
the choice. I mean,
You
you
have
can
the
grow
choices,
and learn.
yes.
You can always learn and be like, you know what, I already know because I've already done that, been there, done that. I can see it in myself.
Or if your idea of love is just like you say, the body,
Right.
and that's already going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Because if that's
Sure.
all you're looking at,
And until you learn that, what's
Right.
going to happen? You're going to keep
Keep saying the same thing
getting
over
hurt.
and over
Yes,
and over.
because you're too busy going after the physical appearance, and you keep doing it over and over and over. And that didn't work. Well, let me try it again. That didn't work until at some point our spirit wakes up and says, "Hey,
Why don't
something's
you-
not working. Change it." Right? Yes. Something's not working means you change it. Who was it? Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Life is not happening to you. It is a reflection of you. Stuff just happens to me all the time. Have you heard that? I hear people complaining all the time. I have this bad luck with boys, with girls. I have this bad luck with relationships, with anybody.
Maybe
Okay.
that's where the attraction comes in. You're attracting the same person, same type of person, over and
You're gonna
over
get the same
again.
result.
And you're
Yes.
getting the same results. Now we got to make a choice to change that attraction to something else.
Don't
So-
be looking at me.
So they look at everybody's
I know.
So can we get to that point where we understand that life doesn't really just happen to us? Is it difficult to get to the point where we understand that everything that's happening to us is a reflection of ourselves, of who we are and our actions? It's hard to wrap our minds around it, but is it a truth? Okay. The law of attraction, we attract what we see in ourselves, and that's mirroring. We attract certain circumstances into our lives. Possible? Yes. If we neglect maintenance of our house, we neglect it and neglect it, are we not attracting some kind of circumstance to our house? It's going to crumble right up over our heads, right? Because we're not doing something to upkeep the house. It's not clean and it's not maintained correctly, and everything is getting wobbly and soft, and pretty soon it's going to crumble up on our heads, right? Why? We've attracted that. We can say it's the weather. We can say it's the maintenance man never showed up. Bottom line
You
is
could
it's on
say you
us.
chose. to
Bottom
do
line is
that.
it's on us. Yes, sir.
Has Allan Kardec ever talked about magnetism and how that attracts?
He has. Yes, it says a section in the Spirit's book. Well, it's not him that talks about it. He asks questions to the spirits who answer his questions.
Have we already covered it in class?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
It's
And then there's
working
a lot of magnetism in the Medium's book, also written by Allan Kardec. There's a lot on
Because
magnetism.
I already
there.
know it because of the other stuff that I've been studying about the magnetism.
Correct. You're talking about the energy we have,
Right.
right? That's very good.
But we don't attract everything into our lives.
Yeah, well, that's just certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, there are certain circumstances.
Like,
Now there are some
like
things that we
being-
have to experience
Yeah.
because through reincarnation,
Yeah.
we have to experience certain things for us to grow. Yes, but certain things we create them ourselves. Wouldn't it be better to try not creating more than what we're already experiencing as it is? But we keep adding more, right? Let's make it worse. Let's make it harder than it has to be. Yeah. We get glimpses of who we are by what we see in others. Who we are. How you treat people, that's how they're going to treat you. So if you want to learn about yourself, study how people are reacting to you. Oh, pues I don't have any friends. You don't have any friends? No. Why? I don't know. People just don't want to be around me. Really? Yeah. Do we want to be around negative people, angry people? I don't think many people do. We don't. Whatever is painful can teach us what we need to change. So it'll help us steer in the right direction. Ouch, that doesn't work. This is painful. This happened to me. Why is it happening? Let's analyze it. Say, what did I do to deserve this or to receive this? then you can make some changes in your life, right? That which is joyful is where we're doing well and on the right path. So keep doing those good things that are making you feel happy and good and fun. We want more of that. But we want to also analyze why we're experiencing pain and suffering. And stop looking at it as, well, everybody else is doing it too. Things are just happening. And it's just tough luck. We need to stop thinking that way and start taking responsibility for our own actions. And since I started studying Spiritism at the age of 13, that was the very first thing I learned. Was that we are responsible for our own actions. We are responsible, not anyone else. So want to learn more about yourself? Through the law of attraction, which can also be called mirroring, everything that happens in your life is feedback. The Bible said it many years ago. With what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. En español, con la vara
que con la vara que mides
serás
medido.
Yes. Does that make sense? So things are feedback. Things are you're doing things and you're judging people by how they are, and then people judge you back. And you're like, why do people talk like that about me? You might have done the same thing to someone else. You just don't remember. Okay? Things come back to us.
Es
Does that
como decir, no le hagas a los demás lo que no quieres que te hagan a ti.
Perfect. That's right.
That's like the main law.
Yes. Don't do to other people what you don't want them to do to you. Absolutely. When everyone responds to you in the same way, when there's a pattern of failed relationships, or when you lose jobs frequently, you will react in one of two different ways, okay? You will either assume that the world is unjust and that everyone is against you, or you are aware that the world is not targeting you, it is simply responding to you. It's responding to you. Man, I've lost 4 jobs in a row. In 3 different years, I've lost 4 jobs. I can't believe it. The people in those jobs are so ungrateful for everything that I did. They never gave me a raise. I never got to be a manager. And they told me that I would do it, but then at the last minute they would. These people were just terrible at work. They treated me horribly. So I left work, or they fired me from 2 of them, and I left the other ones. I've been changing jobs for 3 years. No one appreciates me. Some people might think that way. So then you're wondering, why is it happening then? Why can't I keep a steady job? Why does it keep happening to me? Well, because they're responding to you. How do you work when you go to work? Are you helpful? Are you thoughtful? Are you generous? Do you go beyond what's being asked of you? Or are you doing the absolute minimum just to get your paycheck? A lot of people do that in the workplace. I'm just going to do what's asked of me, and if you ask me to do more, I'm going to bring in my lawyer, and you're going to discuss it. Because that's not my job description. I'm not doing that. No way. You got to pay me more to do that extra. Yes.
Like, I heard a guy at the place I used to work, that's not in my job description.
It's not in my job description. Very popular quote at work. Very popular. But what are you giving out at work?
Negative energy.
Negative energy. And what are you expecting from work? You're expecting positive. You're expecting to be treated as though you deserve everything that you're asking for. So your expectations are on the other side. I sound like I'm mad at everybody, right? Well, I'm not. Okay. Believe it or not, we're almost at the end here. Here's a quote. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. So you see, we're not the only ones learning about this. People throughout the world have made these quotes already. So what does that mean? We don't see things as they are. We only see them as we are.
We only see them like we want them to
How we interpret them.
Well, yes. How we see the world through our lens, right? We're using our own perspective on things. So what is reality right there, an actual real something, we interpret it as something else. So we're seeing things as, okay, so I see a pig. I love animals. The pig is so beautiful. Look at it. It's so smart. They're almost as smart as dogs, aren't they? And look at those moms, how caring they are to their little ones. Look at such a wonderful animal that God created. It is God's creature, this pig. How wonderful. Here's someone else. Pigs are horrible. They stink, they smell, they make a bunch of horrible sounds, and they're up to their bellies in mud all day long. That's a horrible animal. Oof, I don't want to be anywhere around pigs. Look at the attitudes of two different people that I just gave you. Which attitude are you most of the time in your life?
There's a third one.
You're the third one?
No,
There is a third one.
Bacon!
I was gonna say, I was thinking, I love
There's a third
the taste of
one.
pigs.
Somebody looks at the pig and they're like, ooh, that's a nice
go to the
piece of
spectrum.
While
bacon.
you were talking about it, we're going.
Let's go to the lighter end of the spectrum and say, I love bacon.
Bacon fiend over here, man. I could eat bacon and.
Okay, I could have used a snake or something else.
Yeah.
But great. That's awesome. Yes, there's a third one. I love bacon. So what is our attitude when we approach things, when we see things, when we talk to people? Do we see people as children of God? Or do we see them as someone in our way, someone we need to conquer, someone we need to impress? So it's teaching us about our relationships and how we perceive the world, how we approach it. So we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Make sense? Okay. Everything that happens to you is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. We cannot outperform our level of self-esteem. We cannot draw to ourselves more than we think we are worth. We cannot get if we don't believe we're worthy of getting those things. How do we view ourselves? Do we have low self-esteem? Do we kind of step away from situations and not act when we should and let things go by? You see, everything happens as a reflection of you. Everything's vibration. Our emotions, our thoughts are all vibration. And that vibration attracts other vibrations like ours. So if, like Keely said, if we're giving out negative energy, this negative vibration, we're giving that out to people, what do you think we're going to receive? Those people are going to be attracted to us, and they're going to hang around us. And they're going to want to manipulate us into doing more of that negativity because it's fun. It's fun to complain. How's it going? It's a horrible day. Thank you. Horrible day? Yeah, it's hot outside. I don't want to go to work. I don't like my job. God, man, I'm so sorry for those who wake up in the morning and say, I hate my job. And every day they have to go to work because they hate their job. Oh my God.
Well, on the contrary, I love my job, I just hate my manager.
There you go. No, yeah. Everything is vibrations. If someone in your life irritates you, it's because that person is mirroring what exists in you. You can judge your character by how others treat you. You know that? You can judge who am I? What kind of person am I? Well, how do others treat you? Do they treat you with kindness? Do some treat you with anger? Do you look at someone kind of weird and then they look back at you kind of weird and now all of a sudden you can't even start a conversation with someone because you already had that look? And then you assume all kinds of weird things? Look at the way she looked at me. Oh. So now you have these negative thoughts, negative feelings, and they're bouncing back and forth. It's crazy. But throughout the cosmos, yeah, we're all in this together. And all the energy is all around us here. Okay? As an educator, as a teacher, I'm not allowed to have a bad day. It's just a given. I can't be in front of students that my purpose is to educate them. I can't be in front of them with all my problems hanging out right here, feeling low and down. This isn't working in my house. I'm having a bad day. This is terrible. I had a flat on the way to work. I'm all dirty and sweaty. I can't get in front of people and say, hi, I'm your teacher. I'm going to teach you. By the way, my day's really bad, so guess what? Yours is going to be worse. So you use your own feelings of anger, of hatred, all the negativity, and then you want others to kind of feel what you're feeling. That's very selfish, right? It's very selfish. Okay. Does that make sense? How about parents? As parents, also, parents want the best for their children. And a lot of times, parents will keep things from their children to prevent them from feeling the negativity. They will make an ultimate sacrifice and say, let's go outside and play. With a smile on their face. Don't worry about a thing. Things are fine. Dad, are you sure? Mom, are you sure? Yeah, we're good. Parents will go to that extent. For the love of their children, they will keep them away from whatever problems you're having at home or problems you're having at work.
But you also have ones that are selfish, very selfish.
Well, the ones that are selfish are going to come home and start throwing tables around and chairs and kicking things. And nobody in the house is family now. Is happy now. I'm sorry. No one's happy because dad's mad.
Exactly.
No one's happy. You're not allowed to. You can't even ask him a question. Had a bad day. Everybody get away from dad or mom. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Or your friend. Doesn't matter who the person is that you know. Bad people want everyone to know, or angry people want everybody to know they're angry. Sad people want everyone to share in their sadness.
Miserable people want to be miserable and make you miserable.
Make you miserable along with them. Yes. It's this spiral thing, and it's that negative energy, it's that vibration that you're giving out. Which one do you want to do? Okay. In summary, let's close it out. You guys are doing so well today. It is the spirit that loves and not the body, right? The use of the word love is interpreted in many different ways. How we interpret that love, that word love, depends on what we want out of love or out of the other person that we're with. We suffer when we seek to satisfy our pride and ambitions. That's suffering. Think about it. Happy people. They walk into a room, they brighten it up. They're happy people. Everybody's happy around happy people. Everybody wants to be around happy people, right? Good thoughts, good feelings emanate from their being, and they touch others without physical touch, but they touch others just by their presence, just by how they're approaching life, and it just inspires you. Man, that person's happy all the time. There's always somebody. I always see. I know several people that always have a smile on their face, always, and I wonder, does this person ever have a hard time or a bad day? Because it's always, hey, what's going on? Doing all right? Yeah, everything's positive, everything's happy, everything's good. Whether they're hiding it or not, no one knows. But I think they kind of caught on to something here. Even if you fake a smile, it makes you feel good somehow. Just fake it a little bit. It makes you feel good. Pretty soon it becomes a habit to smile when you greet someone, rather than greet them with negativity. Smile and show them that you're happy and that you care. Okay. Sad people, as we said before, they want everyone else to feel sad with them. Sad people will come out and say, look at me, I'm suffering, everybody. Hello, this is painful. Everybody see this? Look, I'm going through some really hard things right now. Everybody, join in. They want you to be part of it. But you can say, yeah, well, so am I. I'm suffering, and everyone else on this entire planet. We're all suffering. We're all suffering together. How are you going to react to it? How are you going to approach that suffering that you're experiencing? With negativity or with positivity? The glass is half full or half empty? We have faith in God. We have faith in the fact that we're not alone in this world. We have each other materially. We also have a spiritual family that's looking out for us, that's watching us. And they see us go through troubles. They see us. But they have this broader picture, broader view of why we're experiencing things, and we have this narrow view of why we're experiencing these terrible things. It's very narrow. Because right here, right now, this hurts, and I don't like it. And then we want everyone else to hate it too. But it's a very narrow view of our problems. Very tiny compared to how large the entire universe is. Large cosmos. Okay? Our problems are really small. Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. An unconditional commitment to an imperfect person. Love is the law of attraction. Life is not happening to you, it is a reflection of you. It's not things just don't happen to you. Okay? We go out there, we do things, and we cause most of those problems. We cause them. Because of how we treat others. Because of the things we do. We're human. We're human. Pardon?
And the reincarnation.
Reincarnation as well.
You know about reincarnation, you remember, you know about it, you go back, if you're conscious, you go back to your previous lives, and more than likely, you did that to someone else.
Yes.
So now, the payback's karma.
It's your turn. Karma comes around. Yes, that's very good. And if it wasn't that way, then how, if it wasn't for reincarnation, then how would it be then? That we live this one lifetime, you get one shot at it. One chance. That's it. You blow it, what happens? In many religions, you go to hell, you go to purgatory, you disappear forever. But then where's God in all this? And I thought we were all God's children. How could God have me burning in a lake of fire for eternity? He's my Father. We are parents. We have children. Would we do that to our own children? No. A mom will go visit their son in jail any day and still see their little baby right there behind bars. That's my baby. Right there. Yes, he committed a horrendous crime, but that's my baby. I'm going to go visit my baby every week, every other day, whatever it takes, until my baby gets out of jail. Then what makes us think God's love isn't that or even greater? Right? Much greater than our own love. Your vibration, your energy attracts others with similar vibration. So what do we want out of life? What do we want?
When you get negative energy around you, say a prayer very hard, and help will come to you and take that bad energy away from you.
Absolutely. And moreover, adding to that, your actions will create positive energy. If you feel lost, lose yourself in the service of others. If you feel lost, go out there and help someone else. Why sit there and worry about your problems? There are people with bigger problems than yours. Go out there, give them a hand. Help somebody. It'll make you feel way better when you get home. And that's another way. Of course, prayer is absolutely paramount. You say prayers, you ask for guidance, for help. Yes. And they'll be there with you all the time. When you don't like what you're getting in life, ask yourself what you're giving. Okay, that's kind of in a nutshell what we just talked about. Ask yourself what you're giving. Okay, any questions? Comments? Alrighty. Well, I want to thank you all for coming today. It's okay to talk. Thank you. Just throw my